Oh, all right. Gail
Good
must be
morning.
on. Good morning, Gail. Back
All
off my
right.
Okay.
Okay. How's everybody?
Good morning.
Good. Good, good.
I
in
made
good health and high spirits generally.
Yeah, all right, good. All right. I'll go ahead and get started. Let's see, what is this floating? Okay. All these little new messages that pop up on here. Okay, I got let's go ahead and start with Bob on the KR6J repeater system.
okay. Well, several things. First off, if any of you have an iPhone and you went ahead and did an iOS upgrade, whether you intended to or it did it automatically, watch out for one thing. I have been having people tell me that they cannot call me. But my phone shows that all these calls came in. So why have I not heard them? Apparently, when it did an upgrade, it shut the ringer off.
Yeah. Jeez.
So I had no idea I was getting calls. So anyway, that's just a heads up. I think I fixed it and now it all works. Okay, repeater system. Let's start with down south first. Williams Hill. Um, Alan down there and I have been working with the Fort Hunter Liggett Fire Department um, to deal with a brush situation that is up on top of the hill. I don't know how many of you are aware what the top of Williams Hill is like, but it's mostly dirt. Okay. However, that being said, at and inside the fence line of the military compound up there, of which the 443.8 repeater is located inside, there are four propane tanks up there inside the compound that are about, I don't know, 8 feet to 9 feet long. They're large size propane tanks to run a bunch of backup generators. Those propane tanks are completely covered by manzanita, which, if anybody knows how manzanita burns, it burns very hot. And in one picture that Alan took, you can barely see one of the tanks sticking out of the manzanita. So we are working with the fire department. It's Cal Fire will not touch it because it is primarily all inside of the fenced area, which is all military. So we are working with their, Alan's working with their fire department down there to get a crew up there to get the manzanita cleared out of the fenced in area. Um, Over where the antenna tower is and where the coax runs go up to it, there's probably maybe 6 inch tall at most yellow dried grass. There's basically nothing underneath the tower that would burn on that side. It's all on the northwest side where the tanks are located. So we're doing everything to get them. Apparently, the word now is that they will be up there either this coming week or the week after to clear out the brush, um, which obviously is a good thing. Um, by way of those backup generators, just to reconfirm to everybody, the 443.8 repeater is running on the humongous and very heavy UPS that MCA ARES contributed and is in the rack. And so, if nothing else were to happen up there in the way of backup power, the repeater would run for what I estimate to be about 4 to 5 hours on just UPS alone. Um, but we are plugged into the backup generator outlet of one of the local radio stations up there, which has its own backup generator outside. So the repeater is on a UPS, which is on an outlet fed by a backup generator. So that's the word on down south. One other thing that Liam can probably comment on is the change from the CW ID of our link radio, which is heard down there on the Williams Hill repeater, to a voice ID. So, Liam, would you like to comment on the functionality changes of the system?
Sure. In particular, this particular change was aimed specifically for the link radio, and it IDs on the 7330 controller are of three types. There's an initial ID that comes up if the repeater has been quiet for over 10 minutes from the last ID.
Mhm.
And then the normal ID, which if there's a sequence of transmissions, will announce itself every 10 minutes. And then an impolite ID, which if a transmission will overcome a 10-minute milestone, it will talk over the transmission. So what I did this time was to reach in over the air through the administration mode and change the initial and normal ID for the link radio to be voice, which sounds very much like the voice IDs you hear on this side of the VHF and UHF repeaters, but specifically for the link. And it basically just says KR6JE UHF repeater for the initial, and then simply KR6JE for every normal. The impolites, I changed all three ports because the impolite is really about satisfying the FCC and shouldn't interrupt a transmission. And so I made those all CW at 30 words a minute. So they kind of slide through the system and shouldn't really disrupt a transmission in progress.
Sounds good. Yeah, and sped it up so that it doesn't take very long. That it meets
Yeah.
the requirement, and that's good.
Yeah.
So functionally, that is the current hardware and operational changes. We do have confirmed to us access to KSBW's internet connection up there on the hill. Matter of fact, they've given us a port on their router up there to plug into hardware wise. So on our next visit up there, the plan is to run a Cat 5 or Cat 6 cable through the wire routing areas and plug into their router and then bring it over to our rack so we can do with as we wish. So if anybody has any suggestions or ideas or things that you can think of from an MCA ARES perspective that would very possibly help things out, either down on the lower end or on our end, go ahead and write them up and send them in. You can send them in to me or to the MC ARES link, and I'll see it as well. And we'll put it to the tech crew and stuff and see what the possibilities are. We're trying not to make it another massive, complex, crazy system that has all kinds of stuff in the world reporting to it, because then it couldn't meet its primary function, which is to be up there for emergencies and to be available. But that's not to say that there aren't some good things that technically can be done to it. For instance, one of the things that is in work, so to speak, is we're trying to set up a local weather station up there. So before we go running up to the top of the hill, we know what the conditions are. We can tell what the temperature is inside the storage room where all our equipment is and see whether we could have a pending problem or not, that sort of thing. And matter of fact, KSBW has asked us to do it because they would like to know as well, and they haven't set anything up. So that's a potential out there to have something done one of the next few times we go up there, when and if it's ready to go. So that's basically it, hardware wise, function wise of the repeater. Other than that, all the radios appear to be working up to snuff.
Mhm.
Antennas are working good. I haven't heard any problem with coverage anywhere. Matter of fact, I don't know how many of you were actually listening to the FPRA net on Monday night, but we had a guy check in from the Santa Cruz Mountains up by Ben Lomond.
Mm.
Now, granted, he was at 1,000 feet elevation, but for a shot from Ben Lomond into Fremont Peak, and he had a very nice quieting signal, was quite phenomenal, to say the least. So, in that respect, everything is working, I think, better than we could imagine. Um, and I believe the 440 repeater is up and doing what it's supposed to. I have a problem here because of the rocks on the top of the mountain,
Mhm.
and that the 440 antenna is further around to the east than is our 2 meter antenna. So I get shadowed by the rocks, which has always been a problem with Fremont Peak. So in that respect, everything seems to be working good. I know Liam's able to use it to go in and put command controls and stuff in, which by law we are required to have. Is our repeater has to be controllable by anything 220 or higher, and we have that covered. So that's the report from FPRA's perspective. Everything's working good. Everybody from the FPRA side seems to be happy. There's no problems with the net. The net's happening on there. I assume your nets are working just fine on it. So there you go. That is my report.
Great. I think I got a check-in one time from Ben Lomond on our
Yeah,
ARES net. So,
right. The Aries people over there have been checking in. Yeah, there's a couple people up in the Santa Cruz Mountains who have been checking in fairly regularly. We've also had people checking in from down in Carmel, and over in the Monterey area. So in that respect, the coverage and the usage as far as checking into nets and stuff has increased. Our FPRA net has been averaging 13 to say 14 check-ins a week,
mhm.
which is significantly up from where it used to be at about 6 to 7.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good.
So, all
Great.
right.
Anybody have any questions for Bob or while he's here? Oh, no? Okay.
Yeah, can you slow down the CW? I can't copy 30 words a minute.
I use I'm suggesting use it as training.
Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
put out a message that says if somebody can copy the ID, send it in and what it is saying, and then we'll give you credit for 30 words a minute.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. The next thing I had was I just finished up revisions on the new membership letter, and then we got a new member. So so I sent it out to him, and then he was already had his certificates and everything as he sent me. So he maybe done it before. So but he's new to the area in East Garrison. So I was able to take care of that. One thing I wanted to mention is that Ken Folsom at CSUMB, he was the emergency manager over there. He retired last week. So we're now waiting for somebody new to take his place. So I'll keep everybody posted when that happens. Let's see. Right now, he had a smaller trailer before where he'd go camping, and now he upgraded that to a little bit larger one that he could still pull with his truck. And so he's been traveling around California visiting all the campsites, so various campsites all over. So I've been keeping up with him there.
Isn't he working on another book?
He was supposed to be, but I haven't seen anything yet. So let's see.
Bob's got his hand up.
Oh, go ahead, Bob.
By
Yeah,
the
go
way,
ahead.
speaking of trailers, our the local EAA group in Watsonville at the Watsonville Airport was given one of the Red Cross's old covered trailers that they took out of service. And they are putting new tires on it. It, to the best of my knowledge, it has light fixtures inside. It is wired for shore power. But other than that, it is empty. And the trailer itself is in excellent condition. If anybody wants one of they want to get rid of it. So if anybody wants to look for a covered trailer, let me know. I'll get you in touch with the EAA president or the treasurer, who happens to be my daughter. And we can make some kind of arrangements to let you see it, whatever. But it is going to be available.
Bob, what's the difference between covered and enclosed?
Under the circumstances, I don't think there's any difference. It is got 3 walls, a back door, and a roof. So yeah, it's one of the it's dual axle. I know that, and it is does it have brakes? I don't remember if it has brakes or not. But you can walk in and stand up full size
Okay,
without
I'm
having
just
to.
asking because we are looking for a trailer here in this
I
side of the house.
will. I'll tell you what I will do. I will send you
Can I
some
get some pictures of it?
pictures. Yeah, I'll get you some pictures.
Yeah.
You're frozen too, Pat.
Yeah, we at one point they had a bunch of them parked over at CSUMB, and that was I think 2013. We went over there and helped them clean them out because they had all these comfort kits in there that were 10 years old or whatever, and
Right.
which have the toothbrush and toothpaste and all that. So we cleared all that out, took all
Yeah,
the beds out and all that stuff, and then reloaded
that's what
them.
they were primarily used for, was to deliver comfort kits,
Yeah,
cots, blankets,
yeah,
and stuff to a shelter. And I'm not sure what happened, but all of a sudden they had to get rid of all of that stuff.
yeah,
And they had to donate it. They could not sell it.
right, yeah,
So, yeah, they just put them up and said, "Here you go, have a trailer."
yeah,
Now, what they're using in place of that, or how they're doing what they did with those, I don't know. I have
yeah,
not heard. But I just know that because they were because EAA is a nonprofit group and they were available to be contacted, they contacted us and says, "Come and get a trailer."
yeah.
So, okay.
All right. Let's see here. I wanted to mention here too about an Airden group that's getting started, I guess. I know Liam's been on that conversation. That's something nice that we could check out. And they're also, I noticed that they're going to be switching, I guess it's a protocol from their existing one to a new one called Babel
Yeah.
in 2026. So I'm not sure what's all involved in that. I think it's just the background programming stuff. Is that right, Liam?
Yeah, essentially it's a different routing scheme.
Okay.
And what they're trying to do is fight the problem with dropouts that would occur on the net and or maybe even loops. But for the most part, they were having difficulty maintaining a stable net, and the new protocol is apparently more robust. I have
Okay.
not yet myself updated any of my equipment. It's still sitting aside. I've offered it to David, who we're encouraging to take on the leadership.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get spread too thin too quickly if you
Oh,
keep
yes.
taking on the leadership role. So we're trying to distribute that. And so at this point, David, I guess, is still planning out an initial conversation, but that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Because one thing when Bob had offered some antennas, I know a lot of the programming is only set for a certain brand type of equipment.
Yeah, and the antennas are uh, the antennas themselves are just antennas, and so is another radio that goes with that.
Okay.
It's possible to implement them, and but what what the primary project is centered on is existing commercial equipment
Yeah.
that is in another factor of the FCC regulation that we move into the amateur bands.
Yeah.
One comment about those antennas, if I
Okay.
can.
Sure.
There are four um, um, 2 gig Wi-Fi antennas left, and there is one 5 gig Wi-Fi antenna left. All of the 20 dB gain ones. In 2 weeks, they will be going to the scrap bin if nobody takes them. They are free for the taking. I just need to get them out of there. And so if somebody wants one, raise your hand. I will get it to you. If not, they're going to go to the scrap metal bin.
And as I've indicated, Bob, if I can get up there Monday or Tuesday, I'll take whatever you've got.
Right.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Let's see what else. Well, I wanted to mention Pacificon's coming up October 10th through 12th at San Ramon Marriott again. I'm not sure if anybody here is going to go, but one thing I have is let's see. Yeah, so I haven't looked at to see what they're having available up there. I know they always have a lot of different things, vendors and stuff, but they also have the section meeting up there. Let's see. And then the next thing is the shakeout, October 16th at 10:16. And then they were recommending the WinLink Did You Feel It reports. And I don't have you done that before, Liam?
In the past, I was actually pretty active. Not
Okay.
so much this year, but with October coming up, and I'm starting to get some breaks in my calendar that I can perhaps participate in that. I
Okay.
try to get on packet every, like every now and again, at least once a month,
Yeah.
but it's been tough lately.
Yeah. 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 That same with me. I'm going to try to get, I've got my DigiRig all connected to my laptop fine. And now it's just, I need to connect it to the radio and test that. And then hopefully I can try to do that before then. So we'll see. The other thing for our October meeting, it's set for the 18th, October 18th. I'm going to be out of town. So I'd either like to move it to the Saturday of Pacificon or to the 25th. So I don't know what would be better.
Just because Pacificon, I wish I could go, but I'm probably not going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
I'm probably still under a couple of vehicles.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so the 25th for me is probably
Okay.
the better one.
Yeah. I think so. That probably be the better one. So I'll go ahead and change that to the 25th. And then is that a big issue with there, Jim, with changing the calendar on Groups.io?
No, just I have to remember to do it.
Okay. I'll send you an email, and because I have
Okay.
some other things. I've got a few training documents that I found that I'd like to see on the webpage too. So
Okay, yeah.
and so yeah, I'll get that to you. Okie doke. And the only other thing I have is let's see, Monterey Cert is their next basic class is going to be in February, the 7th, 14th, and 21st, 2026. So if anybody's interested, then and I think, I believe if you're interested, then you email training@montereycert.org. Yeah.
And Karen mentioned there's some training going on in the Santa Cruz area.
Yeah, Jim, the Santa Cruz CERT organization's hosting Warrior Weekends, basically 3 Sundays in October. The first two at the Watsonville Airport Fire Station, and then the third Sunday would be at the Live Oak Fire Station. And
Oh,
that's the
good.
closest I can find to North Monterey County.
Right. That's it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Yeah, I used North County Fire used to actually we had one up there, I think, and trained one of their firefighters, but that was a long time ago. So good to hear. Are you going to attend?
Yeah, this will be my CERT training.
Okay, good.
I've been
Well,
waiting
that
for
sounds
something
good.
local. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. So any questions? That's all I have at this point. Okay, that's it. We can get on with our daily lives and try to make a dent. Nice seeing everybody, and I'll be in touch. Thank you.
You mean
But
I have
health
to
and
go
high
out and mow
spirits.
a lawn now? What?
No, I have sand. I get to rake sand.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Zen.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
Zen garden, yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Well,